spent a lifetime watching children play like this, and it never ceases to fascinate me. In this programme, we're going to be looking at role play and its effectiveness in children's learning. Absolutely natural for children to tell stories through role play. It doesn't matter whether the role play's a vet, a shop, or whatever it is. Children love to play and tell their stories. Really effective role play must have a purpose. It incorporates all areas of the curriculum, and children can feel really safe and push the boundaries of their play. But where do you begin? In this programme, we'll show how practitioners can set up and plan role play areas. It can all start in the most unlikely of places.
Let's see what's in here.
Didn't know I got so much stuff in the garden shed.
Yeah, but there's some good stuff in here, especially if you're thinking about... This is mine! I need these, not you!
My fellow early years advisor, Sue Durant, and I love turning trash into role play treasure.
I was in a setting and they had the most fabulous role play. I walked in and it was really looked super in the corner.
Yes.
And the children, I think it was like a hairdresser, so they had all the stuff there. And It was really lovely. And the TA had spent ages putting it all out the night before. Yeah, the children walked in, they really loved it. It was great. But unfortunately, it lasted half an hour. Because they hadn't been involved in it.
Because they hadn't set it up.
They didn't even know it was going to be a hairdresser's.
Yeah. And it's so important that we have real things.
It is. And the real ropes.
Yes.
You know, children love ropes.
Absolutely. And wheels. So it's so good to have gone to the garage and to have got real things,
exactly.
isn't it? Because otherwise it just doesn't work for the children.
No.
And it's that smell as well. Rubber
Oily.
smells one of the
oily
stuff.
Oh, I love the smell of petrol. Give it to me every time.
It's not petrol, but the heady aroma of anchovies that accompanies playtime at Stanley Road School in Worcester, which is right opposite the city's famous sauce factory. And the children here will soon be adding extra spice to their play by creating their very own garage, because the foundation stage unit is working on the topic of travel and journeys. So how did that come about?
Often they would get some chairs and start playing cars and things like that. So we decided to develop something for them. Also, we've just had a lovely new awning built outside. We wanted to connect role play outside with inside.
Lucy always starts from the children's ideas. A series of mind map sessions help uncover what they already know.
Fantastic. It was a week ago that we made this first mind map about what we knew about garages. And straight away we said that a garage is somewhere you keep your freezer. And then we really thought again, didn't we? We thought about other types of garages. When a car's broken, it's taken to the garage.
Lucy and her colleague Anna James will be sharing the progress of this role play theme with early years advisors. That's Sue and myself.
And sometimes in a session they'll just change it themselves anyway. You'll just go in and they'll be doing something completely unexpected, but then we take it from there.
And the adults, therefore, are guided by the children.
Yeah,
very much
which is
so.
such a good
That's
idea.
when the adults start getting all enthusiastic, isn't it? Because then you can really see the way forward, and I think that's what makes it really good.
So where are you going to take all these ideas that you've got?
Well, I think the first thing to do is to get a first-hand experience. It's really important for the children. So we've got a nice petrol garage up the road, so I'll give them a ring and make sure they'll be receiving visitors.
During the next week, practitioners set up opportunities to broaden the children's knowledge by watching a DVD inside the classroom and by taking them all in small groups to visit the local garage.
Can we look under the car?
Thank you. I've never done this before. This is the first experience. Look, Do you see that exhaust pipe, Harriet? Which bits do you think is the exhaust pipe?
The day goes all along there.
That's fantastic. Yes, Harriet,
I think under the car there's petrol to let it go.
Of course, it was a bit of a nightmare thinking about we're in a busy place with cars, but the children knew how to behave, the risk assessment was in place, and we found the visits very successful. What can you see there? Some bolts. Let's see if that one will fit on there. Oh, clever boy, that's the ends.
There's no substitute for giving the children the real experience, the sight, the sounds and the smell of oil all the way round. And seeing the men with their hands dirty so that the children can get their hands dirty.
Hold it on my hand now. Get your chin outside.
Back at school, the children shared their thoughts with the rest of the class.
We saw that Honda, and what did they do to the Honda so we could see underneath it?
They lift it up.
They lifted it up so we could look underneath it. Harriet, tell us what it looked like underneath.
It was very black and it was all murky.
It was all murky in there. What was it covered in?
Oil.
Viewing a film about the workings of a garage and petrol forecourt gave the children more food for thought.
There's one of the machines we saw too. The machine we saw had red and amber lights on, didn't it? It rolls off. This is just what we saw. It was did the back wheels. You know the engine's going because you can see all these fumes coming out the back.
What do you think the children learnt out of this? What have they got from it?
Well, a lot of language for a start. I mean,
It was amazing when a child in my class, we didn't realise how good his English was. And it was because it had really got him and he was excited, he wanted to talk about his daddy's car, and the language he got just from the walk up and back again was amazing, and came back and was full of enthusiasm telling the other children.
Visiting the garage and watching the DVD allowed the children to find out more about how a garage works. This extended their mind map ideas.
What do you remember about the garage?
Lift cars.
We can lift cars. Why do we lift cars up, Kobe?
To mend it.
To mend. What special bit do you need to see if you've lifted the car up? What can you see that you can't normally see of a car?
Tank. Tank.
The tank. You can see the tank. What else could we see underneath the car?
There's a... before the tank, there's 6 holes what the petrol goes in.
Is it like the petrol cap are you talking about, when she unscrewed it?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Is there anything else we could put on our mind map?
A wheel turns around.
Did the car go anywhere? Did it drive along? Or did it stay in one place and the wheel...
Stay in one place.
Okay, we think that's called the rolling road, but I'll have to ask. Rolling road. And what were they testing, Thomas, on the rolling road?
Brakes.
Fantastic. They test the brakes. You open the petrol cap. Let's all do that. Petrol cap. Get the petrol pump. Okay. Get it. The nozzle in the tank. Okay. Press the button. Squeeze.
Lucy's starting from where the children are. She's starting from what the children know. And all the time she's doing role play. The children intersperse what they're saying with bits of role play. And therefore Lucy's finding out what the children know. This is fantastic mind mapping. So where's this role play going to take the children's learning?
well, obviously, because we've seen what really fires them up, we're going to sort of develop that, and we want to get some tools and get some equipment. We've luckily been able to borrow some, so we're going to be able to use that stuff and get them hands on, and make a realistic garage. We don't want to make a sort of plasticky one that doesn't feel very real. We want to recreate what they've experienced as much as we can.
Yes, one that's got a real feel and a real smell and a real oiliness about it.
Exactly, and quite quickly as well, because if we leave it, then it's the momentum's gone.
Lucy takes all of the children's ideas and puts them together to stage their own version of Scrap Heap Challenge as the garage role play is developed.
We'll try and ask parents if they've got any bits and bobs, and our caretaker's fantastic. Hope to bring in an exhaust pipe and some carburettors, some lamps and things. Tyres, I think, will be really good. And to develop fine motor skills, little screws and bolts, and we'll probably have hammers and nails and things like that, so they can have a good old bang. And also an office, so they're beginning to write, lots of signs for reading. An office so they can do their jobs, and sort of, I think we'll have a car wash, and we'll have car wash tickets and things like that. So.
Hammer and nail sounds wonderful, but what about the safety, Lucy?
Well, we'll always have an adult out there, and I think they need to learn. We'll show them how to be very careful with the nails, and we'll have to set some certain rules about not taking the tools out of the role play area. So that's just talking to them and reminding them all the time.
And children ought to be able to cope with risk.
I think they can. If they know the risk and they've been clearly told about it, they will respond well.
It's 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 3, 4, 5.
So what are you hoping the children are going to get out of this learning in the garage?
I think mainly we like to develop language here.
Yeah, obviously this is a great opportunity for the children to practice the language. We want them to be confident and in their space that they've created.
And I love them taking on new roles, so hopefully we'll have some mechanics, we'll have some office managers and things like that. Yes. And a child working in a role is developing language in a different way. Can I have a car wash today, please?
Yes.
Can I have the inside of my car done as well as the outside?
Yes, the upside.
How much is it?
£5. The big thing is the practitioners always feel that if they are with a group of children teaching, the children are learning, whereas we actually know that when children are engaged with their own activity, their self-chosen activity, that's when the learning is really taking place. And that's why role play is such a good thing.
This role play provides learning opportunities across all 6 areas of the curriculum as the children create their own garage scenarios and characters.
Stanley Road Garage and Shop is in full swing, and all of this started from the children's own interest, their own knowledge. They've been able to bring it to the situation. We have to be really flexible in role play and make sure that the children have the opportunities to put in their parts to make it different from what we imagined it was going to be. And in role play they can be safe, they can stretch those boundaries, they can take the occasional risk. Bye-bye for now.